Systems go.
I guess 2 questions. Is everybody healthy for this game?
Everyone's ready to roll.
All right. The last of you guys on this court was beginning of the season. Jonas Jerebko had that tip-in at the buzzer against his former team. Pretty great. How has Jonas been a playmaker for you guys? In the right spot, doing the right things?
He's got a great instinct for the game. And, you know, on our team, because of the 3 scorers that we have, there's a lot of space for if you're playing the 4 or the 5 position. Those guys attract a lot of attention, and Jonas has gotten really good first recognizing, you know, where to be when the defense focuses on the other guys, knocking down that 3 or making a play. And he's a much better playmaker than people realize. And you know, he's told me that he feels like this is his first opportunity to really kind of make plays in a while. And it's kind of the way we play. The ball just moves, and we trust every guy to make a play. And so he's been a phenomenal addition to it.
He says he feels like he's free here. He can do what he needs to do.
Well, that's the idea. You know, we want everybody to be able to move and make a play and get to space, and we always try to trust the next guy. I think one of the hallmarks of our team over the last 4 years is a number of playmakers. You could go down the list. It's not just the all-stars, you know. It's the other guys who've been here over the years. Andrew Bogut, you know, David Lee, David West, Zaza, all really good playmakers and passers. And so Jonas has been able to slide into a similar role.
Now that DeMarcus has practiced with Santa Cruz, could you see the G League becoming kind of like MLB treats the minor league system, where guys go down for rehab assignments and that sort of thing?
Yeah, I would like to see that. I think that would be the next step for the G League, and it makes perfect sense. You know, it's if you need to get your rhythm back coming off of an injury, why not do it in that setting where you can afford to make some mistakes and you know, get through the conditioning level that you need to get to without, you know, having to suffer the difficulties in a normal game. So I could see that happening.
DeMarcus has said he's open to playing with the G League team. What goes into that decision?
It would just be Bob and DeMarcus and me just talking it out, and we'd include Aaron Miles in the conversation, but that's not something we're close to yet.
Last year you called the Jazz one of the best stories in the league. Have you been surprised at all? I mean, obviously they had a tough schedule, but kind of with the start that they've had. You know?
A little bit. You know, I'm still really impressed with them. They're still a tough team to beat. They defend, they move the ball, they execute. But, you know, the West is just so deep this year. Everybody's just beating each other. And so it's, I think just looking at them on tape, they look good. But I think a lot of other teams in the West have gotten better, and it's harder to get wins this year.
Why did you decide to inject Steph into that second unit, and you're going to keep going with it?
Just changing the look, you know, experimenting. It's still, you know, we're still in the first half of the season, and we've had so many injuries. We haven't really been able to settle on a second group to start the second and fourth quarters like we've had the last couple of years. So I think that's something we need to establish, and we wanted to look at kind of a different way of doing it, and we'll probably do it again. We'll play it by ear.
It seemed to work well the other night.
Yeah, I mean, I think you know, Steph is so dynamic that you know, it's a different look from what we had been doing. So we just want to get a deeper look at it, and you know, look at certain actions that we might run with that group, and I think that could help us get off to better starts in the second and the fourth, but we'll see.
What's that conversation like with him, because he has such a comfort level of doing that whole first and third?
I talked to him about it before the game the other night, and he said, he said I'll do that, no problem. And it's just You know, it's the idea that you got to do what's best for the team, and he's always willing to do that.
They obviously scored a lot in your first matchup, 123 points. What do you?
The Jazz?
Yeah. What did they do well, and what do you kind of want to do better to prevent that?
They made like 23s or something. Was it 20?
It wasn't. I think it was 18, 17,
19. Thank you. They shot the lights out. We had some turnovers that led to easy runouts for them. So we've got to be in better control of the ball so that they can't get the easy stuff in transition.
Coach, the Jazz have gained Kyle Korver since the last time you met them. How does that change your defensive plan, if at all?
Well, you always have to account for Kyle. You know, we've seen him in the finals the last couple of years, and as soon as he checks in the game, all 5 guys need to know he's that big of a threat. So he can impact the game whether he's making shots or not, just by drawing defenders to him. So we've got to account for him.
When you do play a team with a significantly different record than yours, how do you make sure your guys don't come in overconfident? That
would never be a problem in this building against the Jazz. There are games where, you know, we've got to make sure our guys are not overlooking somebody. Not this one.
What is it about this environment and this matchup that makes it challenging to come away with a win?
Well, they're a really good team, and this has always been one of the toughest home floors in the league. Going back to, you know, the Stockton and Malone days, this has always been a tough trip between the altitude and the quality of play and the passion of the fan base. You're gonna have to play well to win here.
Well, now I got to ask, because if you lost by 70 points combined or whatever it was last year here,
yeah.
Right? Like, was that wasn't complacency? That was just big. You know, what was that? I guess.
They were just way better than we were.
Okay. It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
What have you thought of Jordan Bell's progress?
I think he's been up and down. I think he's done some good things for us. I think it hasn't been easy. We tried to play him at the 4 early in the season. We're playing him more exclusively at the 5 now, where he's a bit undersized. But I love his speed and his ability to create separation in transition or on pick and roll. You know, I think he's got a good feel as a passer. Gotten better as a shooter, so he's coming along. He's a typical young player. A lot of bumps in the road, a lot of ups and downs, but he's making progress.
He got a lot of attention and hype early in his rookie season because he had a really nice start. How did you think he handled all that?
I think he handled it fine. You know, it's not easy playing on this team because you're always going to be in the limelight, no matter who you are. We get a lot of attention. We're on national TV an awful lot. We go deep into the playoffs. So considering all that, I thought he had a really nice rookie year. He helped us in the finals last year, played a significant role. And but he's still really young, so he's still learning the league, learning what his role is, learning how to be productive.
Right.